Okay, so first of all, welcome back to Undertale, and second, okay, so if you restart Undertale after fighting Photoshop Flowey, he basically gives you this information. Yeah, so he basically goes like, you didn't kill anyone, um, why? But that's kind of the part where he suggests you. Yeah, yeah. This is the part where he basically suggests
Yeah.
doing some things, and if you haven't done it, that's also kind of the part where you have to, meet with Papyrus, meet with Undyne. Yeah, and once you've done that, you get a message from Undyne saying to meet at saying to meet in Snowdine.
Mhm. Look at all those letters.
Yeah. The one thing I find hilarious is that they're all addressed to Sans, but I definitely feel like well, it's kind of implied that it's all spam.
Maybe that's why he's
Really.
ignoring it.
Possibly. I mean, to be fair, in that way, he's kind of like me because on my if I look on Outlook, I've got like I think 18,000 messages, and some of them are like purchase confirmations. Some others. Oh yeah, I forgot you can do this, but yeah, Undyne says that if you read the letter, she'll kill you, and she'll actually call you out if you interact with it in your inventory menu.
You read it?
I
No.
think you should have
Wow.
opened it. I think you should have opened it while away from her,
Oh, if you do
not in
that,
front,
if
not
you
in her
do that,
face.
it'll tell you that it's shut tight.
Yes, so you could at least shown both of them.
No. We're kind of on the rush here. Just kidding.
Yes, we wrote the letter.
This
Yes.
is
No, we
why
did.
you sign your letters, guys.
God damn it,
Yes. Yes.
Indine. God damn it.
Because
Yep.
then you don't get the whole like you wrote this letter for me. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a part of
Totally.
me kind of wants to know what was in the letter. Like, what exactly did the letter say?
Considering we're going on a date with Alphys, yeah, you could very easily guess.
I mean, all I can imagine is that the letter had like a lot of references that only fish would understand. Then again, they're like both different kind of fish. And once again, Alphysing it up.
Alfie seen it up. What? Okay, never mind. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Like, I love how all the all the gifts that Alphys has are specifically for Undyne because they have the hots for each other.
Yeah.
And of course, what would be a marvelous location to have a date in?
Oh man.
Nope. It's
Reggie, you hate anime.
yeah, but Frisk doesn't.
Evan, you mean?
Whom? No, 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 no. Kevin and Frisk are not the same. Yeah, so this is of course the best place to have a date. The dumpster.
What are you talking about? Kevin's right
I mean,
behind
it's-
Alphys.
And of course, for whatever reason, there's a dog looking over everything.
Just looking at us. Okay, okay, a dump. Yeah, a dump is a place like Oscar the Grouch would have a date at. Nothing out of the ordinary there.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the one thing I'll always point to when I say that it doesn't matter how good your game looks. If you have like good characters and good dialogue, like that's the kind of stuff that I will remember.
Yeah.
Like just like this scene right here where Alfie's basically gives you stuff that's actually meant for Undyne, and then you go to the dumpster because that's and then in the background there's a dog. Like that's the kind of thing that I'll remember.
Actually, I think you just remember it because of the dog.
Well, no, because like the dog is something I actually noticed like only the third time I was playing. And hell, now that we're, I mean, now that we're watching a video on it, you can actually take a look at the details in the background, or, well, I say the details in the background, but like, you could tell that these are not detailed. I mean, you can still make out what they are.
I mean, you could just really make out the dog and the bunny.
And the TV.
There's TVs. I think there's like, it's a garbage bag. For a minute there, I thought it was like a pineapple. There's a couple arrows. Yeah, arrows, spear, I think.
Couple of garbage bags, an umbrella, a shelf,
Yeah,
a slice of pizza,
Kevin right
bone.
behind Alphys.
I also
a
like
burger.
how. Wait, where do you see burger?
It's like once like the Alphonse text go away, like if you have to like look right there because it's like right there.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see
Okay,
it.
now I
The
see it.
text
Yeah,
is, like,
now I
covering
see
it
it.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now yeah.
Yeah.
I like how we weren't even talking about what was going on. Like how we were basically getting Alphys to roleplay as Undyne to like practice what Alphys should say.
Yeah.
Again, that's something I just find fucking hilarious. You know, that's like
Yeah.
Pickle Rick territory. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Oh yeah. I also like how the dog expression doesn't change. Like, he's enjoying it.
Yeah, he is.
And...
Oh.
Yet. So what, was that a 3-pointer?
Wow.
I mean, I don't exactly see a line.
Maybe.
But I reckon that Undyne's gotta be pretty, like, she could probably aim pretty well.
Yeah.
To be straight honest, I think going from a sweet stomper music to DNA's theme is just kind of killing the mood.
Nah, I think it...
Yeah.
Like it's more of a comedic mood.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like I can't really take
Oh,
the.
here's Papyrus.
And why are you here, Papyrus?
Papyrus is
Why are
going.
you here?
Papyrus is going to coach Alphys. Bye, Papyrus.
Bye, Pappy. Oh, just go anime is not real. Oh, that's just...
Anime is not real, guys. Go home. And now we're back in the dump.
Anime's not real.
like-
Everything I know is a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that just happened.
Papyrus is gonna get us killed, isn't he?
No, not quite.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did.
Yeah.
So now I have a question. Do
Of course the
Papyrus'
water's
fans
wet.
actually do anything in Deltarune?
I don't know, I haven't played, chapter 2. I played chapter 1 and I don't recall them being there. Maybe they were there in the background, but...
That's really weird, because I know for a fact you see some of the others.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, Toriel becomes the teacher.
Yeah, Toriel becomes teacher,
Yeah.
Dine becomes a cop.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more, that's more of the... They don't really hold a significance in the plot. It's basically Toby Fox going like, by the way, this happened to these characters.
Okay.
I mean, I do need to play Deltarune Chapter 2, but the problem is, if you take into consideration how long ago it came out, and we've heard nothing yet, it's kind of something where I'm like, I'll play it when the whole thing is out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, Alphys has an elevator. For some reason.
And we're going to hell.
Well,
Oh, great.
I was joking, game.
well, it could be worse. We could be going to Detroit.
I
Are we
was
going to Robot Hell at
joking.
least?
No. No, sadly, we're not going to be serenaded by the robot devil.
It's never Robot Hell.
Everyone's dead now.
Well, sort of. Yeah, so basically this is the part that you need to complete if you want to get the true pacifist ending, where you basically learn about a scientific experiment that sort of gone wrong. Well, I say sort of gone wrong, but
Oh.
it went.
It totally went wrong.
Yeah, it totally went wrong.
How wrong did it go?
Well, so you know how in the context of the storyline, when a monster's soul, or when a monster dies, their soul dies quickly after, but human soul persists for very long, which is why they've got six human souls available, and they want our characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, Monster's Soul died pretty quickly after them, but they tried to make the souls persist longer by injecting determination, which is, well, what our character has. The context for the save points.
Mm-hmm.
I also like how they misspelled chips and they kind of went with it alongside potato.
Potato.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. And it's your only reliable method of healing because there's only one vending machine. And I should mention that with pretty much every time I mention the soundtrack, I do really like the soundtrack or I do really like the song that's playing right now. It's titled "Here We Are," and I feel it fits perfectly well.
Here I am, da da da. I'm torn into pieces, da 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 da. Da, da.
Oh yeah, and the main gimmick of this section is where every now and then you have like a special battle, and you cannot like punch them or you cannot hit them because, well, you can't. This is something you do for
Stay Puft Marshmallow, man.
this is something you do for
A demonic
pacifists, and
Stay Puft Marshmallow you.
you need to find a
Well,
way
no.
to.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a demon. And we continue, Ed. You continue.
Yeah, so basically you need to find the way to restore them, or, well, restore them. Yeah, let's go with that.
So you mean we have to cross the streams?
Hmm?
And silence, just complete silence.
I mean, okay, to be honest, look, the reason why I thought it was Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was because it was gooey, and there was a face.
I mean, I can see it. But the one problem that I say problem, but it's not necessarily a problem. It is something that I do feel is worth mentioning. It's kind of unsettling.
Yeah, it kind of
Like,
is.
being trapped in here, and again, I know we've had this kind of stuff before where the game all of a sudden goes like really unsettling, but this is like, I wouldn't say it's Resident Evil level, but because
Itchy tasty.
Well, it's basically the same thing I mentioned before, because it's so sudden. It basically goes against what we've been doing.
It goes from 0 to 100, is what
Yeah.
you're saying in terms
Yeah.
of horror spooky. Yeah.
And because of that, believe it or not, I actually feel like this is, for me anyway, scarier than something like Resident Evil. Just because it suddenly takes me out of it.
I agree.
So have you played a Resident Evil game, Edgy?
Yeah, I played through Resident Evil 2, the remake. I've been meaning to get into Resident Evil 3 remake because I bought it on the summer sale. And I've been meaning to get into Resident Evil 4 again, but the problem is the PC version kind of has weird control. And when I wanted to stream it, for some reason the Switch version, my Switch didn't want to work with my Elgato, which is weird, but I didn't pay as much attention at the time.
Alright.
I was kind of like,
yeah, I kind of
okay,
want to play the fourth one too. Like the remake.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of... From what I understand, there's a lot of, like, good stuff to be had with the Resident Evil franchise. As long as you stay away from 6.
Okay, to be fair, I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of the reasons why people don't like 6 is basically it wasn't as campy as 5.
Well, what I understand is that Resident Evil
Yeah,
6,
exactly.
like, the problem with Resident Evil 6 is that they try to focus on so many gameplay styles at the same
too.
time, and it kind of just made the game feel unfocused. Like, that Capcom didn't know where the priority was, and
Alright.
you know, that's why something like 7 did so well. Or, I mean, I say did so well, but to be real, Resident Evil 6 did really well, and there's a reason why they still keep bringing it out. Like, there's a reason why it's on the Switch. It's also something I do feel like I should compliment Capcom for, because whether or not you agree with their business strategy, at the very least, they are not, like, they do not hide their mistakes. They embrace it, and if you want to play Resident Evil 6, you can play it. If you want to play Devil May Cry 2, you can play it. If you want to play Mega Man X7, you can burn to the ground, but you can still play it.
What about Devil May Cry?
Alright, I hate to interrupt, but this looks like that creature that we just fought. I'm getting giant demonic rubber chicken vibes.
Honestly,
Just the way
I was
that it
getting
looked.
one of those tilting bird things, drinky birds. That's what I was getting from that thing. Not a rubber chicken.
And to answer your question, technically you can play DMC Devil May Cry, the remake. You can technically play it on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. I don't think they'll put it on the Switch. However, considering that we've got the Devil May Cry trilogy, I would not be surprised to see... I'm actually surprised they haven't announced 4 on the Switch yet.
Yeah, honestly.
But you know that's gonna be the next one they'll bring out.
Yeah.
If they'll bring one out. And while I need to be careful with how I phrase this, I do feel like Devil May Cry 5, as it maintains a persistent 60 FPS on console, I do feel like they could also bring that out on the Switch.
The Ultimate Chimera.
But yeah, my point is, again, if you want to play Capcom games, no matter its quality, there's a chance they brought it out on something else.
Yep.
Now, if only they'll bring...
Okay.
If only they'll give us a modern way to play Code Veronica. I know that's one that a lot of people want.
Okay, you know what's one game from Capcom I would really love to see get like a port for like newer consoles?
Which one?
I'd really like them to do like a remake of Oogie's Revenge, the Nightmare Before Christmas game.
I do not remember that.
It was basically like a Devil May Cry clone in a way,
Yeah.
but it followed like the events of like after the movie.
Yeah, so it's kind of a sequel to the movie. But yeah, and it's also and also Hideki Kamiya was the director.
Ah, so that was when he was still with Capcom.
Yep.
Right.
And it's not the first time we have a weird big name Capcom guy working on a Disney product. Need I remind people, Goof Troop was directed by Shinji Mikami.
Okay, so
The Resident Evil guy.
Okay, so that reminds me. I don't know if you guys covered this during the podcast, but how do you guys feel about Hideki Kamiya leaving Platinum?
Honestly,
I forgot about that.
I'm
Honestly, I
curious as
forgot
to
to include that.
what he's gonna do next. I'm curious about what he's gonna do next. If he's just gonna step out of the
Hmm.
whole gaming limelight, or if he's going to do or if he's gonna do a new thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Like a new game company.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is something where I definitely need to be careful with the way how I say it. But my opinion regarding Hideki Kamiya was always a bit on the divided side. Like on one
He's a
hand, he has a great vision. He directs some stellar games, but as a person, I feel like he definitely needs to. I don't know if grow up would be the appropriate thing to say, but I feel like he does block people way too easily. And
yeah.
it's something that especially was apparent when like the controversy regarding Bayonetta 3 came out, and we're gonna quit this talking about that in particular when I'm done with it. But basically, how even when people had legitimate questions and concerns, he basically continued his whole shtick when a lot of people didn't know what the shtick was. That's the kind where I feel like if Hideki didn't act the way he usually acted, a lot of the controversy could have been prevented.
Yeah, he really did not help that. He really did not help that.
No. And it's.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I was
Hmm?
just gonna ask, Edgy, what are your thoughts on Unity? Like, what's been going on with like that company?
My thoughts on Unity? I mean, first of all, I'm. Unity as an engine was one where I've always was really mixed on. Because on one hand, you can make some amazing stuff with Unity. For example, Soul Hackers 2 runs on Unity, and a lot of really amazing mobile games run on there as well. But the one association I always have with Unity is like really crappy shovelware tier Steam games. That's the one thing I think
Yeah.
about when I think Unity. Um,
Yeah.
but I've always felt like there was a reason why people kept going for Unity, and that was because it was a easy to understand engine, and it was cheap. And for them to
Hmm.
suddenly pull the rug from underneath everyone, that is something where I like. That's the kind of thing where you need to roll out a plan like that over like a period of 5 years. And yeah, it's scummy what they did. It really
Well,
is.
okay, I was watching a video yesterday by Slopes Game Room. Like, it's a channel on YouTube that I really like love watching, because this guy does he does a whole series based on like Kickstarter scams and that, and he also like dives into like the history behind certain franchises. He mentioned in his video on Unity that the former CEO of Activision, the one that like
Oh,
caused
by the way,
Activision to begin with
Deepak,
the
I'm interrupting you for a moment
oh,
because this gets priority.
okay.
Don't fuck with save points, all right? Don't give me a feeling of safety if the save point is a fucking enemy. Anyway, go on.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. I lost my train of thought for a minute here, but I gotta remember. Okay. Yeah. So the former CEO of Activision, the one that like started the whole microtransactions for like Call of Duty, like that guy, he's
Right.
the CEO of Unity now, and it's through him that this whole thing caused Unity to get backlash because he's the one that decided to up the price for Unity.
Oh, that's scummy. And I guess it
Yep.
should, and I guess it shouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
that like the guy behind that kind of. But then I say that, but let's be real. Like technically, a lot of times, maintaining an engine and licensing it out can be a costly thing. So from that angle, I can understand why they
Oh yeah.
did it. But again, do it gradually over time.
Definitely, like not, yeah, just like not all at once. But I honestly think the damage has been done, and I don't see Unity like being that well trusted again after this. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if they want to move forward, they have to like fire like that CEO. Like they have to get rid of him
Yeah,
because I feel like he's the one that damaged Unity.
yeah, but
But go ahead.
but the biggest problem is that a lot of people, including someone I know, he wants to make games, and a lot of people who want to get into making games choose to go with Unity, and you can go like, okay, I'll look up another engine, but if you have, 2, 5, or even 10 years of experience with one engine and one engine alone, swapping engines is easier said than done. It's the same reason why I don't use Adobe Premiere, for example. Or it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons. Like I got so used to, Vegas Pro 16 and eventually 20 that yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to adapt to another editing program. Now, granted, if Magix, the company behind Vegas Pro, does something scummy, yeah, of course I'll call them out on it, and if it's directly related to my product, or they like revoke my license key over something that was apparently part of the agreement but I didn't agree to, yeah, that's the part where I go like, okay, I'll look something else. Like I know that DaVinci Resolve is a program some people use. I believe Blender is also a program that people use, but I've kind of been misinformed regarding Blender because I've always thought it was like a program for viewing 3D models or something along those lines.
It's like a program for like animations.
All right.
Yeah, but apparently you can also use Blender as like video editing. I don't know if that's like 100% true. I have to ask a friend that actually uses Blender because he does like animations actually.
I know my friend Mike does frequent Blender. But then that's the same friend who has like a couple of years of experience with Unity and does. Yeah.
Just buying a lot of chips.
Yeah?
That's right, crisps, I guess they're called.
No, I call them chips. Like crisp is more of a British term.
I know crisps are a British term. Yeah.
Yeah. How the hell do we even get to like all these weird subjects and never once acknowledging what's going on screen? Okay, so basically, story explanation. Yeah, so Alphys tried to artificially increase the length of the souls after their host dies, and It kind of managed to morph some of them in the way they did, and like, I don't know, science and some shit.
So, Alfie's mentioned that you had potato chips. What happens if you don't stop buy the potato chips?
It's saying something else,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay. So okay, just wondering.
Yeah. Also, the one thing I like is that Alfie explains all of this, but then we've had like 20 or so text logs explaining
What
explaining
the
what
hell is going
happens.
on?
I kind of feel like it should be either one or the other. I have the player discover it
Yeah.
organically and just have Alphys go like, yeah, science experience went wrong, Lamau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, so one case of even bigger news that we forgot to acknowledge, Jim Ryan. How do we feel about that?
I'm happy he's leaving.
I
Da
think
da
a
da
better
da 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 da.
actually you don't get to make that. You don't get to sing that because you're not a you're not a Final Fantasy fan.
I played 15.
That's it count.
It's a Final Fantasy game.
It is, but you don't get to count. Oh.
And I played Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
That barely has it.
But I played it.
Why are the text logs now just replaced with smile?
Because that's Flowey related.
Okay.
Yeah, because it also explains how Flowey got its origins.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, the elevator once again. Like, what is it with this chapter and
We're going-
fucking with the elevator?
We're going further into hell.
The elevator is wants to take you straight to hell.
Yeah, even though we basically got taken up again. Like right next to the final boss arena.
Just insert the song from South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, where Kenny's just flying up to heaven, but then just starts dropping him.
Oh.
Him straight to hell. Just replace
Little boy
his
going to hell.
head with Frisk's face. Just do that.
Little boy, you're going to hell.
I'll see what I can do.